Across the centuries, sailors and explorers spoke of monsters too terrifying to be imagined. Leviathans that could snap ships in half, glowing ghosts beneath polar ice, beasts that screamed through sonar but left no body behind. But what if they weren't just sea stories? What if some of these mythical sea creatures really existed? Tonight, we resurface 7 legendary ocean beasts backed by shocking real evidence. And the final chapter, it's the one marine scientists still whisper about in private. Chapter 1. The Kraken, Leviathan of the Deep. For over 800 years, Scandinavian sailors told stories of the Kraken, a tentacled monster so large it was mistaken for an island. They said it dragged ships under with whirlpools and shredded men with suckered arms. Medieval maps even warned, "Here be monsters." But it wasn't all superstition. In 1857, Danish naturalist Japetus Steenstrup gave the Kraken a name, Architeuthis dux, the giant squid. With eyes 11 inches wide, almost the size of a human head, these deep-sea predators remain nearly impossible to study alive. Their bodies are soft and fragile, often torn apart when brought to the surface. But in 2006, Japanese researchers recorded one attacking bait at 3,000 feet deep. The footage showed a muscular, aggressive predator, not the slow, passive blob many had expected. And in 2019, Noe filmed a 12-foot squid lunging at their camera, proving it wasn't just hiding, it was hunting. Imagine what lurks even deeper. Giant squids can grow to 43 feet, but rumors persist of a colossal squid up to 60 feet long with swiveling hooks in its tentacles. If that's true, the Kraken wasn't a myth. It was a warning. Chapter 2. Sea Serpents, the Snake Kings of the Ocean. From Viking longships to 19th century whalers, stories of sea serpents have haunted ocean logs, sinister, coiled shadows as long as a ship, eyes glowing above the waves, bodies writhing like smoke. In 1734, Norwegian missionary Hans Egede described a serpent longer than our ship, with a head that rose out of the sea like a man. It was no drunk tale, he wrote it in a church document. One of the most credible accounts happened in 1848. The HMS Daedalus, a British naval vessel, documented a 60-foot serpent gliding beside their ship for 20 minutes. It was witnessed by the captain and several officers, trained men of science. What they likely saw: the oarfish. The oarfish is a real-life sea serpent, with a ribbon-like body that can stretch over 56 feet. Its silver skin reflects light like a mirror. Its red dorsal fin ripples like a mane, exactly like ancient sketches of sea dragons. It lives thousands of feet below the surface, coming up only when sick or dying, fueling ghostly sightings throughout history. And here's something wild. Oarfish are believed to sense seismic shifts. In Japan, they call it Ryugu no Tsukai, messenger from the sea god's palace. After oarfish sightings, earthquakes have followed. Was that folklore, or the ocean sending a message? Chapter 3. The Lusca, the beast of the blue holes. In the warm tropical waters of the Bahamas lies a network of deep sinkholes called blue holes. Beautiful on the surface, but deadly underneath. Locals whisper about the Lusca, a half-octopus, half-shark beast that drags swimmers down into the abyss. Its victims never resurface. But the myth holds clues. The blue holes connect to vast underwater cave systems, making them perfect hiding spots for ambush predators. Some scientists suggest the Lusca legend arose from rare sightings of enormous octopuses, like the 7-meter Pacific giant octopus. Here's the creepy part. Octopuses are not just smart, they're alien-level smart. They can unscrew jars, mimic other species, and even solve puzzles. In 2017, divers in the Bahamas recorded something massive pulling a reef shark into a blue hole. It vanished instantly. The footage never confirmed what did it, but it was stronger than a shark. And let's not forget, in 2002, a US Navy sub reported an object moving at over 200 knots underwater, far faster than any known marine animal. The Navy called it an unidentified submerged object. Locals said it was Lusca. Chapter 4. Ningen, the polar ghost. Far from the tropics, in the icy Antarctic, a new sea monster has emerged, not from legend, but from classified reports. Japanese whaling crews began reporting sightings in the 1990s of a massive humanoid creature, 60 to 90 feet long, white as snow, no eyes, no face, but unmistakably alive. They called it the Ningen, Japanese for human. One ship's crew claimed they tracked it on sonar for 30 minutes before it disappeared beneath an iceberg. Another said it looked back at them. Skeptics say it's a misidentified whale or iceberg, but leaked photos showed something different: arm-like appendages, and in one, a human-shaped face beneath the ice. Even more suspicious, Japan's government allegedly restricted access to some of these waters. Several alleged whistleblowers say images were confiscated. Antarctica remains one of the least explored places on Earth, and if the Ningen is real, it may not be alone. What else sleeps beneath the South Pole? Chapter 5. Mermaids, the beautiful lie. Mermaids appear in nearly every oceanic culture, from Africa's Mamiwata to the Japanese Ningyo. But these aren't Disney mermaids. They're seducers, sirens, killers. So why do so many cultures describe the same thing? A creature with a woman's torso and a fish's tail, often luring men to their deaths? In the Caribbean, enslaved Africans spoke of mermaids living in freshwater springs. In Zimbabwe, divers claim to still lose people in rivers locals say are mermaid guarded. Science attributes early sightings to manatees. But can manatees sing? Can they mimic human speech, as some stories suggest? In 2013, Animal Planet aired a mockumentary called Mermaids, The Body Found. It was fake, but it triggered thousands of calls from people claiming to have seen real mermaids. And here's a kicker. In 2017, on an Indian Ocean island, fishermen found a washed-up creature with webbed fingers, small breasts, and a fish-like lower body. No one could identify it. The samples mysteriously disappeared. Chapter 6. The Bloop, the Sea Titan's Cry. It was the loudest underwater sound ever recorded. In 1997, deep in the South Pacific, hydrophones picked up a sound unlike anything before. Low, organic, and colossal. It didn't match any known species or geological event. It sounded alive. They called it the Bloop. Recorded off the coast of Chile, the sound traveled over 3,000 miles. For comparison, blue whales, Earth's largest animals, can be heard over 500 miles. The Bloop was at least 5 times louder. Some scientists suggested collapsing ice shelves, but the audio profile was more consistent with an animal call. And the sound's origin? Suspiciously close to the coordinates of Arlier, the fictional city of Cthulhu. In 2016, a similar ultra-low frequency sound was recorded near the Mariana Trench. Once again, unexplained. The ocean doesn't just hide creatures, it hides giants. Chapter 7. The Devil Whale, Moby Dick, was real. Long before Moby Dick, legends told of the Devil Whale, a massive white beast that would pretend to be an island, then destroy entire fleets. These weren't fairy tales. In the 1800s, a real albino sperm whale named Mocha Dick haunted the coast of Chile. He survived 100 harpoonings, sank ships, and left men screaming into the sea. He wasn't unique. In 2021, a sperm whale was caught on drone video attacking a killer whale pod, one of the few animals known to do so. Sperm whales can dive over 10,000 feet, use sonar blasts strong enough to rupture a human's eardrum, and have been found with squid beaks the size of hubcaps in their stomachs. If that's what we've confirmed, imagine what we haven't. We've mapped the stars better than our own oceans, and with over 80% of the ocean still unexplored, these creatures, once thought mythical, may only be the beginning. Subscribe to No Chill Nature for more mind-blowing stories from the abyss, because when it comes to the ocean, the scariest part isn't what we know, it's what we don't.